Howdy. I'm reporting from a truck stop in New Mexico. I have to get this load to LA as soon as possible, but I can stop for a brunch break. I just had to hop that fence. They want to pen me in there with all those running diesel engines and think that I can record a video. I'm not going to have my voice compete with running diesel engines. So I did record the suffering video, the ramble. So I'll release that. But the problem is, in that video, I was doing a quick preface on nihilism. And it turned out I had a lot more to say about nihilism than I thought. So I'm just going to release that as a whole separate video first. This one right now. And I'll put out I have the suffering one for whenever I upload that, like tomorrow or something. Okay, so nihilism. I know nihilism. I lived in nihilism. Me and my homies lived in nihilism. We did not care about anything. I mean, we cared, but not really, because in our view, nothing really mattered and everything was just a pointless joke. But anyway, that was really depressing, suicidally depressing. We were suicidally depressed together. So something I realized recently was kind of just something simple, which is it's true. 200 years from now, when you are dead and gone, none of this will matter. Okay, I'm from a nihilist perspective. Obviously, if you belong to a religion, then this train of thought doesn't apply. But I'm speaking to nihilists from a nihilist perspective, which is 200 years from now, when you're dead and gone, none of this will have mattered. Literally none of it. So why care and why do anything? That's a fact from a nihilist perspective. But here's the thing. Does that bother you? Because I know when I thought that way, and I still do think that way, it bothered me. Does that bother you? Does that cause you suffering? Does that cause you grief or pain? Or does it cause you a numbness that causes you, a numbness that gets you to neglect your life, that causes you pain or suffering or despair or hopelessness, or just living in filth and not having life go your way in ways that make you not the happiest? If that's the case, and there's something bothering you in your life right now, it's because you care. It's because you, right now in this moment, care about what's happening to you right now in this moment. We can talk about 200 years from now when we're dead and gone all we want. That doesn't change what's happening right here, right now, to you. There was that allegory of the starfish, where there's a young chick and an old dude on the beach, and the beach is covered in starfish. It's just covered in starfish that have washed up on the shore. And, starfish need to be in water. And they're all washed up on the beach, slowly drying out in the sun. And the girl is just walking along the beach, and every once in a while, she picks up a starfish and throws it back into the water. Then she picks up another starfish and throws it back into the water. But there's thousands and thousands of starfish washed up. And the old man, says to her, "Why are you doing that? Why are you bothering to throw those starfish back into, like she was standing there holding one in her hand about to throw it in. And he was like, why are you going to bother throwing that? Like, why would you even bother with that starfish? There's no way you'll ever save all of these starfish. There's too many starfish to save. And she threw the starfish in the water anyway. And she said, it might not matter to the rest of the starfish, and it might not matter to me and you, but to that starfish, that one starfish, it meant everything. Or something like that. Like, you probably heard the story before. It's something like that, I don't know. But like, that's kind of what I'm saying about nihilism. Is it's like, who cares about this or that, or what could be, or what should be, or what will be 200 years ago, or what was? Right now, you care about what's happening right now. Say it with me, I care. It's hard. It's hard to care. It really is. Not caring is the easy way out. That's the cheap way out, and that's the way that causes suffering. Saying, I don't care. Because it's not true. You do care. But when you say, I don't care, then that takes all, because there's so many things happening in this life. There's so many things in this life. There's me, you, your family. There's political stuff, there's environmental stuff, there's generational curses, generational trauma, there's like systematic oppression, corporate conspiracy. You know, there's all this stuff that you could care about that's affecting you. There's just like there's freaking homelessness out your front door, drug addiction out your front door, domestic violence in your house or in your neighbor's house. There's all this stuff that's affecting you directly and indirectly in the world. And to care about all of that is a huge responsibility, and it's a huge mental and emotional burden that's really stressful to take on. So it's easier just to say, I don't care. Because when you say, I don't care, then all that responsibility, all of that burden gets removed from your plate. But then all of that stuff is still affecting you. And the truth is, when you dig deep down inside, is you do care. And that's the hard thing to do. It's the spiritual and emotional burden and responsibility. To care about all that stuff is like, it's not easy. And that's where like yoga and meditation, exercise, somatic release, therapy, all that stuff comes into play, because the more you practice that stuff, the more space you gain in your spirit and the more strength you gain in your spirit to take on more responsibility and to have the emotional capacity to say, I care. Or you can just willpower it. You don't need to do any of that stuff. You can just say it with me right now. I fucking care. That's the hard path. That's the warrior's path. Caring is the hard way out, but it's the right way out. And it's the way that can give us hope and make a change in our lives for the better right now, which is what we care about. Okay, now that we got the nihilism out of the way, we can get into suffering, which would be some good news. Good news about suffering is on its way. Get ready for that one. Have a great day.